I think most people only want to get married once. Though it may not always work out that way, I think most people going into their marriages hope that they're marrying the person they're going to be with for the rest of their lives. And I think most people hope that the day of their wedding is special and full of love and laughter and unique to them in whatever way that means. I don't think most people get up to the altar, stand across from their soon to be husband, look them in the eye, and imagine they're gonna say,
Only two things are required to keep me happy: keep my belly full and my balls empty.
Now, I'm not an expert on weddings. I've only been at two. And in writing my vows for my future wedding, I'm probably going to find 1,500 different ways to write and rewrite the fact that I love Lee. And every day of my life, I wake up with more questions than answers, but something I've never had to ask myself is whether or not I love that woman. Just how it is possible that each and every day I find a way to love her more. I'm not going to think about my own vows too hard. I'm sure that is many, many years into the future. Let me know if you need an invite. I'll sit you between Ready JP and Wacko too. Anyway, of all ways to start your wedding vows, that is nuts. So the two people getting married are named Destiny and Michael Lentini. This video has been circulating for the last 3 weeks and it's been going viral recently for not only this comment, but pretty much the entirety of the speech on his end. The wedding is being officiated by Michael's mom and you'll hear from her at the end. So we're going to go through his side of the wedding vows, comments on his wedding vows, and then we're going to go through her wedding vows, which are the only ones that I haven't seen. I'm going to assume that hers aren't that, and that we'll be able to just palate cleanse with them. They've been together 10 years, and they have finally decided to get married. There is a huge thing about humor and the relationship there that we're going to touch briefly. They've been together 10 years. She probably knew he was going to say something like this. The internet didn't like it. I generally don't like it. I don't have it in me to speak like this in front of other people. Can Lee and I joke around like this in private? Absolutely. But I'm not going to stand up in front of my entire family and hers and go, actually, I don't even want to spoil it. We're going to watch it together and you're going to see exactly what I mean. In front of his mom, dude.
You're screwed.
You're screwed is probably not the best way to start your vows, but again, this isn't me. I don't think I'm going to start mine that way, but we'll find out.
Since the day we started talking, after falling through my bedroom window, within minutes I could tell you were the one for me. Then as time went on and I was falling deeper in love with you, I was and always will be one of the easiest people to please. Only two things are required to keep me happy: keep my belly full and my balls empty.
If that's a joke, right? And that's all that is, that's a joke. It's not an actual expression of I expect you to do this for me all the time. Within your marriage, that's probably really funny. She is laughing. She finds it funny. I just cannot imagine saying this in front of her family or like on the internet at all, actually. They also have kids, which like imagine being a child on TikTok. You're scrolling through, you see your friend's parents getting married, and you go, oh, it's whatever, right? You let it play and you hear, I need you to keep my belly full and my balls drained. You look over at your parents and you go, what does this mean? And that's not even the worst part. That's the first part. It's not problematic. It's not problematic, and it is probably their sense of humor. I just need people to have a little bit more shame. He does end it with a good punchline, though.
Though you're amazing at half of it, we really need to get you some cooking lessons. Even when my belly isn't full, there is no one I could ever love more in this lifetime, unless I actually get a chance to meet Margot Robbie.
I have to remind myself, not problematic, just their sense of humor, and that's okay. I cannot imagine looking at my wife of 10 years and even jokingly going, I love you so much. I'm always going to love you as long as I don't meet my one celebrity crush in front of other people. That's the part that gets me. If these are your inside jokes, that's great. I love that for you. I love how she's laughing at the things you have to say. Why would you say them in front of other people? And why would you say them in front of your mom, dude? I don't have parents. I don't have the experience. I have no idea how that works. But I can't imagine being like, yeah, I can't wait to get home and have my balls drained every day. Sorry, Mom. There's a book called My Dad Says, and the audiobook is narrated by Sean Schemmel, who is Goku's voice actor. It's a memoir written by a man growing up and the influence his father had on him. That's all that is. There's a point in the book where the writer and his mom are having a conversation, and I don't know how they got to sex, but he goes, you know, Mom, I think I prefer a good blowjob. And she goes, oh, you are just like your father. I don't know my parents very well, but that is just not a conversation I want to have with them, about them, around them.
I always told you I was going to make you the happiest woman in the world and give you everything I could possibly give. Well, today I'm taking a step further and giving you my last name, the last name of champions.
Something that a lot of the comments have said to this point is that they don't like how emotionless he is, but he's reading. You've been with this person 10 years. I think I would probably be a little bit more emotional, but we don't know them. And I'm finally giving you my last name, the last name of champions. It's just like another joke.
No one deserves it more. With you and the girls by my side, I feel like I can conquer anything. Y'all make life worth living, giving every breath of every day a purpose. Life gets even better when the kids fall asleep and you tell me to come to the bedroom.
According to his now wife's TikTok, they have 2 daughters. One of the comments says, I wonder how he'd feel hearing a man read vows like that to one of his daughters. And that's where it becomes a bit of a conversation. As uncomfortable as I would be being him in this situation, reading this out in front of people, I would be much more uncomfortable watching somebody say this to my daughter. In a moment in life which I don't mind being filled with humor, but should be led with love, he's taking his one chance, how much he loves her, and why, in front of their families, and is instead going, drain my balls, let's get you cooking lessons. I love when our kids are asleep so that we can have sex, which is all one big joke. That's fine. But it would make me feel really bad to be the person receiving this when I expected a lot more love in this message. And humor can be love, but I think that we understand the expression of could have been done differently. I would have wanted it to be different. And that's where we probably differ. I'm sure she's fine with it. Who knows? All we can do is say what I would have wanted, what the comments would have wanted, what you would have wanted. We don't know what she wanted, and if they've been together 10 years and have 2 kids, we have to assume that they're just fine.
Nothing's better than the sound of gagging and headboard slamming.
Michael.
And that's the first time we see the mom, dude. A minute and a half of this, a minute and 14 seconds of this before you realize that his mom is right there, hearing all of it. Okay, listen, I'm not trying to be a pick-me, all right? These are just my actual thoughts. My favorite sound is Lee's laugh. So I get trying to make her laugh. However, I would not have done it in this way in front of my mom, in front of her mom.
Everyone keeps telling me that marriage is going to ruin a lot of things, but I feel that's only if you let it. Even if we fight, argue, or don't see eye to eye on something, it'll never affect the way I love you. Marriage is something I take seriously and I only want to do once. After almost 10 years, I still stand by the fact that you're my soulmate and it'll never change. After today, the only thing changing is me having to deal with the ring on my finger.
I remember watching a season of 90 Day Fiancé, and there was a woman who went to the UK to meet her boyfriend before they signed up for the K1 visa to try and bring him over. And they go wedding ring shopping. And he is just so against it. And they try to figure out why. And he goes, well, I just don't like jewelry. I'm a man. Men don't wear jewelry. I'm tough. Huh. I don't remember their names. She was from Albuquerque. That's all I remember. So to hear him say he's going to have to deal with a wedding ring, I don't know if he means that he's like also one of these guys. It's like, oh, it's not manly to wear a ring. I don't need people to know I belong to you. Or if he has like a sensory issue, like I know a lot of people do. They don't like things on their hands. That makes sense to me. I think the first one is weird. I think to be like, I don't want to wear a ring because it's jewelry, or I don't want to wear a ring because I don't need people thinking I belong to you. That's weird. Why are you getting married? Like, that's kind of the whole point of marriage. To be like me and this one person forever. Sometimes it doesn't work out. That's cool.
You will forever have my heart, and that's a promise till death do we part. P.S. Since you're so good at making decisions like marrying me, you can choose whether tonight's going to end with being a toaster strudel or a Twinkie.
Alrighty. I'm speechless.
I know that I'm repeating myself, but because you are so good at making decisions, I will let you choose whether tonight ends with you being a toaster strudel or a Twinkie in front of his mom. I could never, is all I'm trying to say. I absolutely could never. I don't even want to say that in front of toast.
Being that I am his mom, I will deal with him later. He is grounded. By all means.
They've been together 10 years. The crowd took it well. The mom took it well. She didn't seem like she was mad at him. Would I say it? No. Would you say it? Probably not. Let's go through some of the comments. I'd rather die than get these vows. The one I read earlier, wonder how he'd feel about hearing a man read vows like this to his daughter. Personally, I don't like it, but that's very obviously just their humor and it's cute. I don't know about the cute part. It is very much their humor and like I can leave it there, but I can't imagine saying this in front of my mom, daughters, their family, my family, and thinking it's cute. Like it is too much. Like I can imagine this being done on South Park, maybe Family Guy. I wouldn't do it to my partner in a place where she's almost being held hostage. She can't leave. You're getting married. It's been 10 years. This is not going to be a problem. It just seems like a lot. These two are kind of the same. The fact that he has to read it isn't making eye contact bothers me. He's probably nervous, and I'm just going to give that to him. Seems like he didn't write it at all, didn't put any effort into it. There are a lot of jokes in there. There was definitely effort. I just think he could have put that effort into being more loving about who she is rather than what she does to and for him. I'm sorry, but it sounds like he has no emotion. I wouldn't be able to get over those remarks. I know you posted the whole thing thinking it would redeem him, but no, it makes him look worse. This part I do get. He sounds so boring and not legit. He doesn't even take a moment to look at her. I think he looks at her once, maybe twice. As long as the bride is cool with it, it's obviously funny. Yeah, I mostly agree. I just think it's weird as a whole. It ultimately comes down to this. If I'm the bride in the situation, or even the groom, and my partner read that bar for bar, in private, yeah, that's funny. I wouldn't care. In front of their family and our friends, I would not be that okay with it. It would bother me. And also, like, again, it's been 10 years and I get that, but this is your chance to, like, not only tell me how much you love me, why you love me, and how you're going to love me, but to do it in front of the world, our family, 40 million viewers on TikTok. And instead you go, I'm going to turn you into a Twinkie. If he could have done all this and also added another minute of just like, not necessarily praise, but like active love, then I would be so fine with it. I don't have an issue with things being driven by humor. I think that's probably one of the better ways to drive things. If you can get a message across and make people laugh, that's cool. But you didn't really get a message across. You just laid out a bunch of jokes. And I've said it a million times and I'll say it a million more. It's been 10 years. I'm sure he's told her time and time again that he loves her. But you really only want to get married once. And I think the person standing across from you wants you to profess your love to them in that setting. And you didn't do that. That's probably all I'm going to say about him. We're going to watch hers now. I have not seen hers at all. I watched his vows like 3 or 4 times just getting ready to make this video, but I've not seen hers at all.
My knight in shining armor, my best friend, my biggest pain in the ass. Our adventure started a little shy of 10 years ago, and in that 10 years we have already accomplished so much together and created a beautiful life.
You know 100% when she said my biggest pain in the ass, he wanted to interrupt and be like, oh yeah, I forgot to say we're doing anal. 100%.
When I met you in school, I started crushing on you, but I didn't dare let it be known because I thought you were too good for me. So I let it go. If they say if you truly love someone or something, let it go. And if it comes back to you, then it was meant to be. Now here you are standing in front of me on our wedding day. I'm more than thankful for every day with you. You have completely stolen my heart, and I honestly never want you to give it back. You are one of the most selfless, funniest, caring people I have ever met, not to mention very accident prone.
She also doesn't look at him, not so far at least, and she's also reading. And you could tell she's very nervous. So like, I'm not going to put that on her, and I'm not going to put that on him like one of the comments said. But at least hers is about him.
We've created 2 of the most beautiful girls in this world together. We bought our first house. We've made it through the rough times and the good times. And since I have you, I know we will always make it through. Thank you for choosing me to create your life with. I know I'm no model, by far not a good cook, unless you want soggy meatloaf. And as we all know, I'm the real sleeping beauty with a temper. But thank you for loving me still, the way you do. You are literally making the fairy tale I always dreamed of come true. Well, maybe a little more funnier than I imagined. But it's still way more than I could ever ask for. I will forever want you rocking beside me when we're old, talking about our day, making jokes, recalling memories. If you could leave out the passing gas, though, I'd greatly appreciate it. I love you so much, Michael John Lentini, and I promise to choose you every day for the rest of my life and beyond that.
One of the comments says, were his vows first, because listening to hers after his breaks my heart, and I would feel the same way if I was sitting there watching this. Hers are very loving and caring, and she probably needs a little bit more self-confidence. Regardless of my opinion or the opinions of the internet, I hope they each really liked each other's vows and that their marriage lasts for the rest of their lives. I hope they raise two healthy, beautiful children and more if they want them. And I hope that they made some money off of this on TikTok. I'm going to repeat myself like I've been doing the entire video and say, this is not something I would have done or been able to do. I'm really big on keeping that part of my life with Lee private. And I think that's fine. And though when we get married, I'll probably throw a lot of jokes in there, I don't think any of them are going to be of this nature. There are plenty of people who are pretty vulgar in their lives, and that's just their sense of humor. And I definitely wouldn't say it in front of children if their kids are there or my family, but that one's a lot less weird. I would much rather see this after 10 years of being together than David and Mallory Hammond getting married after less than 2 months. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you guys think. If you would be okay with your partner saying their vows like he did, I wouldn't, but that's not my marriage. I can think it's weird and hope for the best for them. And that's what I'm going to do. Say goodbye to Toast. Thank you for spending time with me. I will see y'all soon. Goodbye.